Hi guys, my name is David from Pay It Forward.
And I'm David from Pay It Forward.
And in this video, we're going to show you what to do when your iPhone won't charge. Now, there are four main components in the iPhone charging process.
That's right. The first one is the power source itself, which could be the wall charger or your computer or the car charger. The second is the lightning cable or charger cable. The third is the charging port on the bottom of your iPhone. And the fourth is the iPhone software itself.
Now, for the first step in this video, we're going to walk you through a pretty typical scenario at the Apple Store. I'll be the customer, David will be the tech.
All right, it's been a while, but I can remember how it goes. Hey, what's going on with your iPhone?
Well, it won't turn on, it's not charging. I missed my son's birthday because I couldn't get the calendar app open. I missed a very important call from work, and now I don't get the promotion. They gave it to Sue instead. I just drove 4 hours here from Plattsburgh, and you fixed my iPhone in 15 seconds. How did you do that?
Well, I did a hard reset on your iPhone.
Well, I called the Apple support line. I have an iPhone 7. They told me to do a hard reset by holding down the power button and the volume down button. And they said if I had an iPhone 6 or older, that I would have had to hold down the power button and the home button.
Right. For how long?
About 5 to 10 seconds.
Right. So here's the truth. You thought you had hard reset your iPhone, but you didn't hold down the buttons for long enough. And this was a super common scenario in the Apple Store. People would come in, say exactly what David just did. I'd hold the iPhone, hold the buttons down for not just 5 or 10 seconds, but maybe hold them down for 20 seconds or 30 seconds. Because if there's a problem with your iPhone, it just might take a little bit longer to turn on. So make sure you really try to hard reset your iPhone before you go into the Apple Store or do anything else.
So let's say the hard reset didn't work. The next thing to do is go through each of the components of the charging process and inspect those for damage.
Right, so let's start with the power adapter. Now, if it's your computer or the car charger or the wall adapter, just take a close look inside for any debris or gunk that may have gotten in there that could be interfering with the charging process. Now, I recommend just using the flashlight on your iPhone or another iPhone to take a look inside. I'll turn on my flashlight. Now, all sorts of stuff can get in there. Now, don't use a paper clip or anything sharp or metal because that can cause problems with static electricity and it can do physical damage to your iPhone or other components. So, Apple stores use this fancy anti-static brush.
You can get a whole pack of 5 of these for $5 on Amazon.
Right, give it to your kids, give it to your neighbors. And then if you don't have an anti-static brush at home, which most people don't, use my other favorite anti-static brush.
A toothbrush, but not a toothbrush like that you've used this morning because the moisture from your mouth can cause serious damage to the internal components of your iPhone or your charger.
Who would have thought spit could cause a problem with
Seriously,
iPhone?
spit, toothpaste.
So let's use, instead of my toothbrush, let's use a toothbrush that we've never used before and
Brand
just
new.
gently brush out using a circular motion
Much better.
the gunk that's in there. Okay. So the other way to do this is just simply try using a friend's charger.
That's probably the easier way to do it.
Or also just try to plug it in the car. Or try a different charger. Okay. Next step. Let's say the charger didn't work. iPhone still won't charge. We're going to move on to the lightning cable itself.
Now, this is a cable that's in very poor condition.
Well, it's my cable and it feels like you're judging me, but let's move on. Okay, so iPhone cables are susceptible to fraying. Maybe your cat chewed through it. Maybe you leave it outside and you have a rodent problem. But either way, take a close look at the lightning cable itself. Make sure that there isn't any damage. Now, also, just like the wall charger, take a look inside the USB side of your lightning cable to make sure there isn't any gunk in there. If you need to, brush it out. And just like with the wall charger, though, just try a friend's cable.
Yep.
Now let's talk quickly about Apple cables.
Yeah, Apple cables, MFi certified cables versus a cheap cable you'll find at your gas station.
Right. So what an MFi certified cable is it's certified by Apple to actually work with iPhones. MFi certification is only given to certain manufacturers of iPhone cables. So if you're buying a $3 cable at a gas station, it's probably not MFi certified and it could have all sorts of problems.
Now, where can they get a great MFi certified cable?
Right, well, obviously Apple cables are all MFi certified, but other places have cheaper cables. So we love this Amazon Basics cable. I actually use this one next to my bed. And this is a 6-foot iPhone cable.
This is a very long cable.
Right. Look at that. Yep, it's great. I can use it in bed.
Oh my God.
You get it on Amazon. Look at how long that cable is. Oh my goodness. And so how do you know if an iPhone cable is MFi certified? What you need to do is take a look and look for this made for iPod, iPhone, and iPad logo. If you see that, then it's MFi certified. If you don't, then the cable is not.
All right, so we've checked the charger, we've checked the cable. What's next?
Let's look at the charging port on the bottom of the iPhone. Now, you might be surprised about how much gunk can get into this. Lint from your pocket, or dirt, or peanut butter or any, I've seen lots of things
What about
in here.
rice?
Rice is like one of the most common problems that you'll find at the Apple store. People will come in, their iPhone won't charge, and they'll say, yeah, I don't know what's going on. You'll look inside, there's a grain of rice inside the charging port. And I'll say like, well, were you at a wedding? Did somebody throw it in? But the truth is, obviously they dropped it in water and they didn't want to say anything. But they hadn't looked in there. And actually, sometimes rice is really, really hard to get out of there. So never use rice to dry out an iPhone. It can sometimes ruin an iPhone that would have come back to life. I've seen that multiple times at the Apple store. So same deal with the bottom of the iPhone. Brush it out gently with an anti-static brush or a toothbrush.
So now we've checked the cable, the charger, and the lightning port on your iPhone. The last thing here is the iPhone software.
Right, and the iPhone software is probably the most important part of the iPhone charging process because it's the software that decides whether to charge your iPhone when you plug it in.
So how do we fix that problem?
To fix the software problems, we're going to have to do a DFU restore on your iPhone software.
Now it's kind of tricky to do, especially if it's your first time. Fortunately, we've made a special video walking you through the entire process, and we'll link to that below.
Yep, you should always do a DFU restore before you think it's a hardware problem because a DFU restore is an Apple tech's last-ditch effort to fix any software problems before they'll decide if it's a hardware problem.
So if you go into the Apple store, they'll probably just do a DFU restore anyway.
Right, so make sure that you do it at home before you go in or you could end up wasting hours of your day.
Right, so you did the DFU restore, that didn't work. You may need to get it repaired. First off, there's Apple.
Right, Apple is a good choice if your iPhone's under warranty and it's not damaged. Bring it to the Apple store, they'll probably give you a new phone. Now the caveat with going through Apple is that if your iPhone won't charge and they need to, let's say, fix a problem with the charging port, Apple will give you an entirely new iPhone. So that will mean that you lose all the data on your iPhone and that could be tragic. I've seen people cry before. Now there are other options for repairing iPhones that won't charge.
And one of our favorites is Cell Savers.
Yeah, Cell Savers is an on-demand iPhone repair service that actually comes to you and meets you wherever you are to fix your iPhone in 60 minutes or less. Also, they offer a lifetime guarantee and they can be cheaper than Apple, so it's really sort of a win-win-win-win-win.
Win-win-win-win-win.
Yeah, with Cell Savers. Now the only drawback to Cell Savers is that it can void your Apple warranty when you replace an internal component with a non-Apple part. But Cell Savers does a great job, and that only applies if Apple finds out.
So be quiet.
Yeah. So don't tell.
So that's it for this video. We hope we fixed your iPhone that wouldn't charge. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have other questions, leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for the best iPhone content on YouTube.